Welcome to the Get to Know Me podcast. Go ahead and roll it, twist it, light it, get your coffee or your tea, meditate, pray, sage the building, because you never know what may be said over the airways of the Get to Know Me podcast platform. What's good? What's going down? I'm your host, Busy BalBoa, and these episodes are pre-recorded, so I'm a little sad right now because I just saw the news about PNB Rock. But that's another subject. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I got a special episode for y'all today. I have guests on today. As you know, it's very rare that we have guests, but when we do it a little different. So thank you all for coming. If you're new to the show, my name is Busy Balboa. Like I said, I am the host, the creator. I'm also an artist, but we'll get into me at the very end of this episode. So stay tuned to the very end. And if you've been here before, welcome back. What's good? How y'all doing? I know y'all missed me. I know I've missed a couple of weekends, but I've been sick. And we'll get into that, like I said, later. We'll get into it later. Let's talk later about me. For now, I have some very special guests that I would love for you all to get to know. They've been on my show before separately, but today we have them together. They are sisters, they are an incredible duo, and they basically are here to talk to you guys about their platform, the Heartful Truth podcast. I had the pleasure of being on there doing some promo work whenever they first began, and I love the idea. I think that they both are extremely incredible human beings, very compassionate, very just inspirational to me, very supportive. And I'm happy that they trusted me to represent them and they came on the platform today to talk more about their platform and to shine light on what they have going on. So thank you all for coming and thank you all for trusting in me to talk about this and to have this platform, just to talk about them, and it's gonna be great. It was a great interview and I know you all are gonna love it and love them. And if you would like more of this type of content, please support me by subscribing to the Get to Know Me podcast, coming back every weekend to listening to episodes that I have. Sometimes I'm on here just ranting and raving by myself, and other times I'm on here talking about some amazing things with my guest. So you never know what you're going to get. And that's the reason why we say what we say in the beginning of the podcast, because you don't know what you're going to get when you tune in, which is the beauty of what I do on here. It's just all over the place, just like me, just all over the place. And also, you can support by becoming a premium listener. That's right. So you can be a subscriber, pay $4.99 a month, and you will get exclusive episodes, exclusive content that nobody else has access to. It'll just be you and I. Okay. So there's a link. You can take care of that. And it's a monthly service, just like, Netflix or whatever you guys pay for monthly. So, yeah, those are the ways. Plus, so many other ways, but we'll get more into that later. Like I said, it's all about my art, my artists, my guests, whoever I have. It's all about them right now. So thank you guys again, like I said, but we'll get more into like the details a little bit later. Please stay tuned to the entire interview, listen to the entire episode, and welcome to the show. And here we are. Welcome back to the Get to Know Me podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I have two of my amazing friends here with me today. So it's going to be a great conversation, per usual. But I have the host and the creators of the Heartful Truth podcast, 7 Octobers and Miss Melly. How are y'all doing today?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Thank y'all so much. I never did a like an announcement like that. Hopefully y'all liked it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like the intro.
So we got the creators and the hosts of this Heartful Truth podcast. I was honored to be a part of like some of the beginning work of it, and it was an honor. I
Yeah.
definitely have been a part of a little bit of you guys' journey. I've interviewed you both separately, but it's finally like having you both, so it's really special interview because I know that I'm like a fan of both of you, and I admire and I have always admired like how you both stick together, how your
Thank you.
family, how you're all about family, how you're so supportive of each other. Like I just admire that, especially for somebody that always wanted a sister.
You'll be our adopted sister.
Yes, I love that. But just a quick intro of you two just separately, and then we'll talk about you two together.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm 7 Octobers. Melly's my younger sister. I do a little bit of everything. I just like to call myself like a creative because I do a little bit of everything. I'm an artist. I just started painting too, like messing with art and poetry, moving into filmmaking now, and then the podcast, being a host and blogger, all that stuff. So I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Melly. I'm a poet, a writer, part of the platform collection team, which my sister is as well. I just became the tour manager for the Visible Ponchos. Shout out to Kelsey Ray and Jean Flo.
Oh,
So
dope.
that's pretty something different and exciting. And I started kind of doing canvases, short little canvases with my quotes and writing. So that's kind of new too. That I just started doing that.
Amazing. Super talented, both of y'all. And
Thank you.
like you got both of you have like that poet and like just lyricist type of thing going on, like incredible. Is that a family thing? Is everyone
Probably.
are some of the ancestors, were they writers? Because both of y'all write like the
Yeah,
way that Seven Octobers writes her raps, it's like spoken word, but it's like poetry, you know what I mean? And then Melly, your writings are so beautiful. It's definitely poetry entries,
thank
like, and
you.
it's everyday type of feelings and things that you go through, so it's very
Yeah.
relatable. So I'm like, that is that in the family?
I don't know. I think we're like the first. Well,
Yeah.
maybe the first ones. Maybe my mom was kind of like a creative, but
And then our grandma was
Mm,
a good storyteller, so I
yeah,
felt like that kind of got ingrained into us of like how we, I guess maybe
her
the
right.
writing of it.
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah,
That's nice. I just like that. Like my mom, she used to write poetry and she used to read it to us. So
yeah,
I always think back at those times like I wonder if that kind of sparked anything in me. You don't really realize it whenever you're living it, but I wonder like was that moment where I'm like listening to her reading her poetry like bing, I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know? So how did you guys come up with the podcast? Cuz this is something that how many years? 2 years maybe that
It's
you guys been
going
doing?
to be
a
a
year.
year.
A
Yeah.
year, okay. So
Yeah,
it's still a very new show.
yeah.
What sparked that idea? Like, how did this come up?
Yeah. So we kind of like during the pandemic, kind of we started having talks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, like March of
Mhm.
2020 or something. We or actually no, March of 2021, last year. We were just like at the park, and then we were just trying to come up with a different concept of what we could do to kind of support the community that obviously we love, like hip hop and San Diego, and not just San Diego in general, but just like creatives.
Yeah,
And so me and Melly always have like really in depth conversations, like especially also with the platform team. Shout out to the platform team. We kind of
yeah,
try to like get to know ourselves, like search in within and have like those deep, tough conversations.
yeah,
And we're like, how can we put that into like the creative way? And we're like, what do we have a podcast where we bring on artists or at least just creatives that can kind of have these conversations with us. And so we kind of pitched it to Kelsey and Eddie, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that would be like a really dope idea." And they were super excited. They were already like, "Oh, I know who we can book for the first season." And I
yeah.
was like, oh, "Okay." So then that's how it pretty much got started. And then the name also, like, I think like we just interviewed. Shout out to DJ Root. We just interviewed him. He asked us like how the name came about,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and that was just kind of like same thing. It was kind of weird because we were tossing out names, and then I told Mary like, "What about?" First, it was like the heartless truth, or the heart, or
Uh-huh.
something like that, right? Like super like
Mm.
negative, and I was like, "No, we want to make it like kind of like a positive spin."
Yeah, bring some
And
light
then
to
like
it.
yeah, and then the heartful truth came out,
Yeah,
and I
okay.
was like, I like we kept it. We're like, let's leave it. If nothing better comes on, then we'll just keep that one, and that's just how it kind of got conceived.
I love that though. That's a great way to kind of come around. And then
Yeah,
the support. I love the platform collection. Shout out to
yeah,
everyone over there. Kelsey, Ray, Eddie, DJ Root. You mentioned him.
yeah,
All those guys are very, very great, amazing, supportive guys, and
yeah,
that's important for us women to have.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are
yeah.
listening. I know I have a lot of male listeners, but it's very important for us women to have that support in general. But to have
That's true.
that male, that alpha support, it's like thank you, I appreciate that. That's dope.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and just the name in general. So the concept behind it, tell us a little bit more about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like just as we kind of evolved throughout like this first season, I kind of realized that it's just I guess like having each topic kind of we come up with it, like we kind of talk and we're like we kind of look up the artists a little bit and get to kind of see how they really are, I guess, and like more in depth
Mm.
topics that they have not talked about yet and that no one has asked them because I feel like it became kind of like a therapy, I feel like for them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's pretty interesting because like I feel like for one of the guests, shout out to Stephanie So that we had on one of the episodes for season one. She really opened up to us, which it kind of makes you feel like, I guess, in a way, because not everyone can open up to someone. So
Yeah.
I feel like when someone opens up to you, it kind of feels like you're a special kind of
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
it's very
they may have
special.
not talked about that topic
Mhm.
and it's just like they're letting out their emotions. And
Uh,
sometimes they may be having like a bad day, so they
yeah.
just let it all out on the podcast, which is pretty interesting to see. But yeah, just like
Mm.
in the mental health part of it as well, like we've got to know that side a lot of the artists or the
Mhm.
creatives that we've had on. It's been
Mhm.
pretty quite a interesting journey on that end.
Yeah, and then trying to make it more like a conversation versus like an
Hmm.
interview.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there was a couple people that like try to hit us up, but I don't think they kind of. It was still fairly, and it's still fairly new. So I think
Yeah,
some people
very.
like thought it was just like an interview, but I was like, no, we kind of curate these,
Yeah.
and we don't just have anyone. We're kind of like Melly said, we pick a topic, and it's more of a conversation versus
Mhm.
like you getting interviewed and promoting your next album or book or whatever you're promoting.
Right,
Because we want to
right.
get to know the person, kind of like
Yeah.
you get to know me, like like in depth.
Yeah.
Right. But you guys go deep,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate that. Like, people that create spaces for others, it's big, especially artists 'cause and independent artists in general, we don't oftentimes get that space to speak.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's all about promotion and content and no one gets
Exactly.
to know your personality.
Mhm.
And it's like I always say that, if a lot of people got to see more artist personality, you may have even more fans, you may have even more
Yeah.
outlook
Yeah.
because it really does something whenever someone's relatable to you or whenever you've gone through similar things, you just naturally want to support that person. But if we don't know those things, it's like, okay, I just have to go off your music, and sometimes it's not
Yeah.
even a depiction of who a person is, it's just their music.
Very
That's true.
true.
Yeah, you're like more compassionate towards them. Like kind of like
Hmm.
one of the artists that I kind of like, or me and Melly actually both like, is like Russ.
Yes.
And he recently
Yes.
had just like a breakdown and
Yeah.
Hmm.
for him, he's been transparent like his whole journey at least like somewhat. But like for other people to be like, oh, like I don't really care, like you canceled the
Hmm.
concert, but like for me, like coming from me, I was like I saw his journey, so I'm like, oh, I know he didn't cancel it just because
Yeah, if
so
you
we
really have
kind of
been following him. Yeah.
Like a
yeah
human being. So like a lot of people
Yeah.
think that oh, because you're famous, you're not gonna go through certain things that us we go through as
Yeah.
well. So it's just
hmm
like oh, they're famous, they have so much money, but some of them are actually just really like lonely because they
That's
don't
so
really they're
true.
touring and it's a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, we see it with our favorite big time artists all the time. Whenever they have these breakdowns, and
Yeah.
instead of there being any outlet, they're made into memes. And
hmm
Mhm.
everyone's guilty of sharing a few.
Yeah.
But it's like there's not really a space, and
yeah
whenever they finally do open up, it's like a lot of anger. It's a lot of things that have been built up because they've been holding it so much. So
Yeah.
yeah
I really am appreciative that you guys created that space. What does that even mean to you? Like, how does that feel to know that, in a sense, that could be like somebody's mental health like breakthrough, finally getting to speak about something, and then you guys being the reason that they even decided to open up. Like, what does that feel like?
There you go. Yeah, I think yeah, it's like Melly said, it's like kind of something special, like that bond, and that's why this season two coming soon, or actually, I can give out the date actually next Monday, which is what the 19th, I think,
Ooh,
or the 20th.
exclusive.
Yeah, next week will be because of a new what's it called world premiere.
Yeah,
uh,
premiere.
season two of the Heartful True will be back, and that's what
Amazing.
we kind of wanted to do was like have it in person this season.
Oh, oh wow.
Um, because it's already like through Zoom, it's cool and everything, but I think when you're in person, you even build like a stronger bond with these people. Because like
Very.
Millie said, like some of these artists, like again, shout out to like Kirsty and Eddie. It's because of them, like the relationship that they've built with these artists. So
Hmm.
they're trusting like the brand of Platform Collection, and they come onto our show, and they don't even know us. Like I said, Stephanie Soul, shout out to her again. She opened up, and we didn't even know her like that.
That's
So
incredible.
Yeah, so I think it's like really really dope. I'm like appreciative of it. Like I think it didn't hit me till like the end of the season,
Yeah.
because that was one of the last, close to the last episode. So it's kind of cool. And then
Wow.
like Two Mex too, shout out, like one of the biggest underground rappers. Like
Mm-hmm.
he opened up too about like love. We talked about love, and it was cool because I think Millie's one of Millie's like acquaintances said that they've never seen him really talk in depth about that. So it's kind of cool to like get another
Yeah.
side of
It's
that. So we're
so
trying to ask
amazing.
questions that they've never been asked. You know?
Yeah. And I've seen clips on TikTok of some of the interviews and just it's made me stop and it's been conversations where I'm watching these artists speak and it's like so real. And even through, you're able to pull that emotion even through video. So I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
my God, in person. I
Yeah.
might be crying because I'm already like hard to contain myself. I'm like, wow, that was very deep. Like, okay,
Yeah.
let me scroll because I can't handle this. But it's just so dope. I love that for y'all. I'm very happy. Season 2, that's gonna be good. Like
Yeah.
we all have related to each other through like just loss. We
Yeah.
related through the passing of our grandmother and how close we all were to our grandmothers and just like going through life and progressing, even still missing them and just dealing with
Yeah.
that. And you guys mentioned mental health, like how important is that for you guys, mental health? Because I know that's very important. I've seen transitions with both of you, like you guys are willing to take risks to change your lives and to better yourself, and it's admirable. What
Thank
is
you.
mental, like, yeah, where do you guys stand with mental health right
Yeah,
now?
mental health, like it's very important. What you, as you mentioned, is really more important to us just to talk about that because I feel like it's becoming more the good thing. It is being talked about it even more nowadays, which is a great thing. Um, but definitely like me and Gabby, we both suffer from anxiety. So like talking about that, helping others kind of along their journey that maybe they don't have someone that they can talk about. It's great that they can like reach out to us and they can see that we're open. So hopefully they will open up as well about it. And then also in our family too, like we've always dealt with mental health. My dad as well suffers from anxiety as well. It's always been around us. So just like being able to talk about it now openly with either our audience or like in our podcast as well.
Yeah.
I think that's always been something that's very important for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, because like when like I just did a podcast with like mental health and horror, like another podcast I have, Nightmare on Sedgwick Avenue, and like we were touching about the fact that like nobody really had that outlet back then, like when we were younger. So for us to be able to have this platform, like of like talking about mental health, because before it was kind of like taboo to talk about it, or
Right.
especially like in a Latino like household, like there's no such thing as
Right.
being sad
Yeah.
or or not feeling like I never really like shared my feelings like that with like my parents. Maybe with my grandma, but even then it wasn't like, oh, I'm feeling sad or I feel
Yeah.
anxious. It was just something I dealt with until like now as I grew up, I'm like, oh, I have anxiety. Like I
Right.
just thought it was normal because I like dealt with it for so long. But yeah, to like be able to like Melissa to help other people like talk about it and just having that outlet for people and hopefully other people like will come to us and kind of like open up.
Yeah, seriously. And I get that vibe from you all that you definitely are breaking, like not necessarily to say curses, but generational things, like not being able to speak about things or not feeling comfortable enough to speak about things. Like you guys definitely are opening that up. And there may be like younger kids in the family and generations that are under you
Yeah.
guys that you guys are going to be that example for them. And you're doing so many amazing things that I don't even know if you guys are aware of how empowering you are. Like you really are, you give voices to people and you represent a lot so much. So I don't know if that's pressure to you guys, but I just gave it to you.
No, thank you. Because there is also like one thing I do talk about. Like I have my vlog series and like, because a lot of in social media people share like the all the ups but never the downs. So for me, like
Yeah,
I want to
never
be
the downs.
transparent
Yeah.
because like even now, like I told me like lately I've been feeling like on a creative rut, kind of like a little bit depressed, I guess, but
Mm-hmm.
I still keep it moving. So I just want to let people know like it's okay to like not be okay,
Right.
but still you still just keep going with the motions. Obviously, still talk about it. You don't want to
Yeah.
hold it all in, but
Yeah.
there's still days I have like my bad days and good days.
Yeah, and I think not being afraid to kind of like some of like my writings or poems might be really sometimes I used to second guess myself because I'm like, whoa, it's like it's too deep. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if it's like, someone else is going through it might, like take it a different way. But then once
Right.
I just start letting it out and then I
Mm-hmm.
start posting the TikToks and like with it, I start realizing that it actually they relate more to, and they feel like they're not alone, which is a
Right.
great thing.
Mhm.
That's so true. And I know for me myself, while dealing with my health issues, fibromyalgia,
Yeah.
and finally putting a name to what I was going through, one of the first things that was mentioned from one of my cousins, he was like, "You definitely should join one of those groups. Like, Facebook has groups where people are like, a community that are going through the
Yeah.
same thing." And it took me a while, but I finally found a group. And just to see like you're going through this, but there are so many other people, and that,
Yeah.
not to say that that comforts me, because I'm like, that hurts. I wish that it wasn't so many of us going through it, but just to know you're not alone, and
Yeah.
just to know that like, as hard as it is for you, like, there's a mountain of people that are probably going through all kind of variations of
Yeah.
this, and
Mhm.
they're still pressing on. And that's
Mhm.
encouraging and that's inspiring, and just being a part of that has kind of changed so many of my views and thoughts about myself. And I'm just happy that somebody thought to create that type of thing. So, there, you never know what we're doing, that somebody is
Yeah.
that's very appreciative and they're really leaning on it.
Yeah.
That's true.
What would you say you guys' heartful truth is?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
That's a good one, right?
that's a good one.
Damn, I think it like might have stumped us.
I know.
Yeah, drop the mic.
I mean, that's a good one. I'm like,
Yeah, that came off the top.
I know,
That's
right?
see.
Um,
deep.
I know. It's like I'm trying to think because I don't want to just say anything that comes to mind.
Right. Hmm.
I guess like I don't know if this would count, but it's just like that I want to be able to like motivate and inspire people to like kind of do what we're doing as far as like talking about mental health and help others um be able to speak about it and just help anybody that's like wanting to talk to somebody that they might not have someone, or even just like if we make their day by like them listening to our podcast or something like that, like just inspiring them to be able to keep going if they have some sort of mental illness, that's not like something that should deter them from following like their dreams. That's for me, that's like my truth, I guess.
I think
Mm.
mine would be like, even though I've faced through like loss and like heartbreaks, but realizing that even though I went through all those things, I still remain like with a kind heart, even though I've been gone through that. It's
Yeah.
just, so I think that would be like my heartful, and obviously, yeah, helping others and letting them know that even though you go through those things, doesn't mean that there's not a brighter, something brighter ahead of you. So just to
Mm.
keep pushing.
Damn, I love that. Man, I can relate to both. If I had one, I would
Yeah.
say just being a light in others' lives. Like,
Yeah.
similar to you, Melly. Like, no matter how dark my life has been, I
Yeah.
want to continue to just be me, be bright,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
be resentful, or
Mm-hmm.
just like continue to just be me. Don't let it detour my personality
Yes.
or
Yeah.
not my
Exactly.
heart. That's very hard for me because sometimes I want to get
Uh,
as dark as I feel. So,
Yeah.
but the core of me, I would love to just be that light. Like, wow, she's still going.
Well, you are.
yeah. We see it shine bright.
Thank you. I love you, ladies. Y'all have been, great friends in my life. Great friends in my life. So, what
Thank
are
you.
your?
I love you too.
Thank you. So, like, what are your? I know that we're heading into season 2. So, what are the future plans for the podcast? Where do you guys see the podcast heading? Sorry, I was about to call it Cobcast. I've been watching the Corn Kid like all night. Sorry, I've been on TikTok. Sorry, y'all. Uh, what are you guys' future plans for the podcast?
Well, this season for sure is gonna be, like we mentioned, it's gonna be on the road. So I
Okay.
think getting even more personal.
Mhm.
The questions we're trying to, because we kind of come with them, we'll like separately come up with the questions, and then we'll come together to like
Okay.
kind of like see like, oh, do you have, because sometimes we end up having the same question sometimes,
That
we're
is
like,
so
what, like,
great.
so we're like, let's
Wow.
switch it up a little bit.
I
Yeah.
like that.
So
I like your method. I like your method.
yeah. So then
Interesting.
we kind of and then during the podcast we try to take turns kind of on like obviously asking the questions,
Okay.
but we're slowly this season we're trying to, like Gabby said, like become more of like a conversation. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully the artist will ask us more questions so that you guys or the audience can actually get to know us a little more as well, because it's
Wow.
amazing getting to know the creative, but it's like also getting to know us because it's just the journey of the podcast. So
Exactly.
hopefully that will be like the transition, hopefully for season two.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it. And where can everybody tune into the Heartful Truth podcast?
So it's on the Platform Collection Network. So it's on their YouTube channel under the Heartful Truth, and then on all streaming. I think it's mainly on streaming. It's on Spotify, Anchor, and I think like iTunes.
Okay. And we'll have the
Yeah,
links for everybody as well. So that
yeah.
it'll be in the details. What about your future plans for yourself?
I'm kind of like I said, I've been working on like transitioning over to like filmmaking. So you'll catch me now doing a little bit more of those like 1 minute shorts, like film shorts. I kind of started with like Tupac. If you shout out to
Yeah,
Tupac right here.
yeah, I've been watching the Tupac series.
Yeah,
Okay.
the little Tupac series. And
Famous,
then
famous.
yeah, and then I have other ones. I actually have one dropping tomorrow. It was kind of hilarious. Like I'll kind of give you the 401. It's gonna be kind of like a day with the killer, kind of like a Ghostface from
Okay.
Scream. So Melly does all the acting. So
Love it.
she's my guinea pig. Her
Ride
and
or
my
die
mom.
sisters. Love
All
it.
like my resources here at the house. So like
Love it.
Tupac, Melly, my mom.
Mm,
But I'm practicing that because I really want to do like a short film. That's like my next goal, and then still working on music here and there. But the podcast is pretty much like the main thing right now. The podcast and my filmmaking, and then I'll pass it
okay.
on to Nelly.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine would be I started recently doing TikToks with my poetry. So that's been going slowly and steady, but I see it picking up. So being more consistent with that, doing a little bit more of my videos, like my showing my face, because I think I tend to be a little shy on that part, like my face. But the podcast has been helping me get a little bit more out there with putting
Uh-huh.
my face out there. So hopefully, I guess creating a little more with TikTok, and then I'll be focusing more on tour management, like I mentioned earlier, with like the Invisible Poncho. So we'll be doing like different touring around like the city, and then we'll see from there. And then also, I think when I was on your podcast, I mentioned that I wanted to write a book.
You
So
did.
that's still in the works. That's definitely still in my
Okay,
mind. I
y'all.
already pretty much finished all the poems that I want. I'm thinking of either making it more like a zine instead of a book.
Okay.
Um, trying to collect probably like art from different people. It's a little different that I'm kind of going with it, but it's still in the process. So hopefully that will be coming soon as well.
Nice. I look forward to both. I look forward to all of that. And definitely wanted to extend the invitation because I've been talking to Seven about the Healing Center a lot, but we gotta get y'all there. We're having an event in October. Maybe we can book you guys and see if you
Cool.
guys
That'll
would
be
love
dope.
to interview some of the artists that's gonna be there. But we're gonna have like this artist event and we're gonna have a lot of different people there at the Healing Center, and I would love to
Cool.
have the
Cool.
Heartful
Yeah,
Truth podcast there to
That'll
interview
be
them.
that'd be
dope. Yeah,
cool.
let us know.
Yeah.
It's the best idea I've thought about all day.
And that'll be perfect because it goes with the brand too.
It goes
Like
with
of
the
like
brand. It goes with the
yeah,
brand, and it's great people. It's a lot of artists that I haven't met before, painters, singers, different people. So we're gonna be
that's dope.
having
Yeah,
a
let us
nice
know.
little good time. Yeah, definitely. So y'all look forward to that. You know, if you're in San Diego area, definitely we're gonna talk about that later in the show. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming in. Like this was amazing, and I really feel like I'm understanding a lot of like the background of the show, and I really am looking forward to more of it because I've already been watching so much and just it's been really deep, and I know that it's going to get really deeper, and you know maybe I can come back on and have everybody cry a little bit. But
Yeah.
I would love to just continue to support you all, and you know anything you want to shout out, anything you guys want to plug in before we head out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for
Yeah.
allowing us to be on here because we haven't really talked about our podcast. So you're the first one to kind of get us on, and I appreciate the platform
Of
because we're trying
course.
to kind of give out. Thank you. Trying to give out the message of like what it is because a lot of people are still kind of confused by it.
Yeah.
So like people try to get on and then they don't really even know what they're getting onto. But um,
They'll know now.
so now like, we can kind of like show them this interview and be like, this is what it is, you know. But
Right, yeah.
yeah, like shout out to you. Like I said, you
Thank
do a
you.
lot of great stuff for
Yeah.
the community too.
Thank you.
Either you're like a transplant, like you're part of San Diego, like the hip hop scene, and then obviously shout out to the Platform Collection team because without them we wouldn't have this show. So Kill C Ray, Gene Flo, Eddie, and Parker, um, and just everybody who's been supporting the
Yeah.
podcast. everybody's
Oh,
yeah, the guests, the people that bought merch, all that stuff.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and then Melly, I don't have anybody else that you missed.
Well, yeah, you already mentioned the popcorn collection team. Yeah, shout out to the guests, like I mentioned previously, that we've had on.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being vulnerable. That's definitely like the big thing because it means a lot to us. Like you guys pretty much expressing yourself and leaving your heart on the Heartful Truth podcast.
Nice. Beautiful. Y'all look great. I love it. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know. Continue spreading love, peace, positivity. Anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome. Anything I can do to support, I'm there. I'm doing it. Just sign me up. I'm already knowing. And I just appreciate the support over the years with everything that I've been doing. You guys have always been there for me. Anytime I've asked for anything, it's never been a no. I just
Yeah.
appreciate it. So thank you.
Making cameos in your videos.
Yeah, I mean, right place, right time, right?
Right.
Like, I just turn around and like 7 October. It's great. Get in the video. But it's funny because like I have so many things of you around my house that I like. It's just clear that I'm a super fan. I got your CD over there, and I touch it like every day when I'm looking for stuff. I'm like, where is my charger? And I see your CD case, and I'm like, okay, about I'm thinking of 7 October's. Your sticker is on the refrigerator. You gave me a magnet one time. You're everywhere. So,
That's cool.
just know you're always
Yeah.
thought about in this household.
Thank you.
But yeah, I appreciate you ladies. Continue
We
spreading
appreciate
love,
you
peace,
too. Thank
positivity.
you.
We are out, y'all. Yeah, 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 yeah. I knew y'all would love that interview. I mean, amazing people, right? Of course, you guys are going to go and support their platform. I don't even have to ask you. You're already doing it right now, right? Okay, great. I thought so. That's what I thought. So, their information, links, everything is going to be in the description of this episode. Make sure you hit the drop box, hit the details so that you can follow their links and support them. Follow their Instagrams. I have all of their information in the detail box of the episode. Make sure you support them. That is the entire point of my podcast platform. Artists supporting artists, people supporting people in general, getting information, networking. That's what we do here. At the same time, you're getting to know them and me, and we're just a big circle of networking, man. I don't even know what to say. Like, that's what it is. That's what it's been, and that's what it's gonna stay and continue to be. Cause baby, it ain't stopping. Season 5, episode 5. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Melly. Thank you, 7 Octobers, again for coming on the show again and trusting me and just having great energy, talking about, things that mean a lot to you, opening up to me, opening up to us, and giving us your heartful truth. Hopefully, y'all, can give us your heartful truth as listeners. I put a poll up, you can go on Spotify. There's questions on there you guys can fill out about your heartful truth and whether or not you're going to support the Heartful Truth podcast. Continue to support the Get to Know Me podcast by coming back every weekend and listening to my episodes. Even if I don't go on air, I'm pretty sure there's some episodes you have not listened to that you could take the time to listen to, even if I have not put a new episode up. So there's always something. Don't play. There's always something. Tune in. You can become a subscriber, like I said in the beginning, paying $4.99 a month for exclusive episodes. You're going to hear conversations with me and my loved ones, friends, family members, tough conversations that I really don't want to talk about publicly. But I mean, if you're going to pay me to talk about it, I will, type shit. And also just contests, giveaways, things like that. I want to become more like, on that type of vibe. So make sure y'all subscribe and become members so that we can get a lot of things going. Cause I want to continue this, but it take money to make money. So I want your support. I need your support, and I would love your support, and I deserve your support. And I have your support already because you're listening right now. So thank you. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't know, I'm BizZy BalBoa. I'm also an artist, so I have music on all major platforms. Stream that, play that, let everybody know about that. Read the lyrics, go watch some of the videos or the visuals that I've created and put out there on my YouTube. I too have my links in the description of this podcast episode, so you can tune in and get familiar with me as well. I have books out there that I've created, journal books, so you can tune in on my Amazon and read my author page and just check out, some of the stuff I got going on. I got a poem book that's coming very soon that'll be dropping on Amazon as well. What else? Big Love LLC. So I got the clothing brand right now. We're doing t-shirts only. So if you go in the link, you'll see Big Love. I forgot the link exactly because I switched the domain, but go in there, you'll see my link to my website. You can go buy some merch and some t-shirts from me and stuff like that. It's a lot. Basically, tune in. Go on my Instagram. Keep up with me that way. I got a TikTok. I'm pretty active on. Other than that, I ain't really on the internet that much. But like I said, links are in the description. There's a lot going on in the world, so this was a very important topic and interview in general for me, just talking about mental health and different things that we all deal with and opening up to people, sometimes people that are not even familiar to you. Right now I'm in therapy. I highly encourage it to anybody listening. I'm not trying to push it off on anybody. It's not for everybody, but if you've never gave it a shot, I think you should definitely try if you feel like that's something that could possibly be some help to you. Because this was an important episode, man. The world is tough. It's a lot going on. Like I said in the beginning, PNB Rock was just killed. This is a pre-recorded episode, even though it's airing 9/17. I'm talking to you right now on 9/12 Monday, and it's a lot. Every other day there's murders on TV. There's murders on the internet. There's just a lot going on in the world. It's random shit. It's people attacking people for no reason. It's a lot of anger. It's a lot of crazy things going on. It's important to take a step back and tap out of the internet for a while and check in with yourself. Make sure you good. Tap in with your folks, the loved ones, the people that's always quiet. Make sure they straight. People that's always loud. Make sure they straight. But most importantly, tap in with yourself. Like I said, tap in with yourself because self love, self worth, self health, all that stuff is very important. You don't want nothing to sneak up on you. You know, one of my favorite comedians, David Arnold, just passed away out of nowhere. They say natural causes. Like life is crazy. Life is short. Life is unpredictable. Spread love, peace, positivity. That's why we say that every episode. It's big, it's major, it's real life, it's important. This is not a game. What we do is very serious. We take this serious, like we're doing this for real. This is really our life. This is our story. This is our journey. Whenever we're gone from here, this is what will be left. Our art, our story, our voices, things that we said, things that we thought, the way we moved, the way we treated people. Keep that in your mind constantly because that'll change the way you move out here in the world, the way your outlook is on everything. And just continue to be pure and keep that love within your heart. There's so much going on in the world, and I know it's easy to be resentful and angry and fucked up about every fucking thing, but we gotta love, we gotta spread more light, we gotta be the light, we gotta be the peace, we gotta be everything that we want to see in the world, we gotta be everything that we want somebody else to be for us, to us. We need to be there for and to ourselves. Okay, all right now. All right, and that's a message for me, even me. You know what I'm saying? Not just y'all. That's a message for even me. But like I said, man, I continue to say it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the guests that have come on the show. Thank you if you're a new listener, if you're a returning listener. I appreciate it. All of this means a lot to me. I apologize for the beeping and chirping in the background. Y'all already know I live in a new location, and I'm gonna see about getting that taken care of soon because I know it's picking up in the microphone. But thank y'all for accepting me for as I am. The Ghetto Podcast, Busy BalBoa. But it's been love and it's always love, and y'all always show up and show out for me. So I appreciate that, and I love y'all. And it's just it's a lot. It's heavy. Today's heavy. Just seeing that, even though I'm not like trying to make it seem like I'm the biggest PNB Rock fan, but just seeing that kind of changed the whole mood before when I was recording this because I'm just like, man, it's like constant death and it's so normal and there's so many artists going out like for nothing, jewelry and money and like all of this shit, the root of all evil, and it sucks. And I just want more for our people and for the world. And it's frustrating whenever you're empath and you take all this stuff on. You really, really feel it every time. Every time you see that death. And living in LA, it's even heavier because it's like down the road that this happened. You know what I mean? It ain't far anymore. It ain't this distant thing. It's next door, and it sucks. And we got to change it. Our people, all of us, we need to change it. I don't know the answers. I don't have all the answers, but I know it just starts with one. If there's one person in your family, one young kid in your family that you can touch or get through, I feel like that's enough change right there. That's one step. But somebody got to talk to these young kids, even some of these older people. We got to start having conversations with people. We can't continue to let people wild out. We got to start letting them know, like, yo, you wilding the fuck out, and you need to get your shit together or something. Like we gotta we gotta figure it out, man, because this is sick, man, and I hate it, and I want more for our people and just for people in general. So tap in with somebody, be a light in someone's life, have those tough conversations, sit down with people, talk to the youth, talk to the elders. We need people that spit in game again. I know it's a lot that in the world these kids easily distracted. They don't listen, but somebody got to sit somebody down. Somebody got to talk to somebody. Even the people that are your age, like we can't be harnessing all of this hate and anger inside. We got to release it. We got to heal from it. You have to heal your foundation if you ever want to grow, if you ever want to be anything more than just sitting in that misery, because misery loves company, and you're never going to leave that because it's comfortable. And you got to get out of that because it could burst one day like a pipe, and you don't want that thing to burst. We need more people that's healing the foundation and not contributing to the damage and the distortion of the world. And that is my message, and I'm out. Continue spreading love, peace, positivity. I'm gonna leave y'all with a song that I'm still working on. I ain't even supposed to be playing this for y'all, but I feel like it's a good song that I could end this episode with. But it's not done. It's a rough draft, but I'm gonna leave y'all with it because I feel like it's the perfect song to leave y'all with. It's called New Moon. I'm working on it. Like I said, it's a work in progress, but it's definitely something that I want to share with y'all. Exclusive type of thing. Exclusive. Don't leak this. Don't play this for nobody else. It's just for y'all. Y'all know how I like to do it. I love y'all. It's Busy BalBoa. See y'all next time.